Welcome everyone to White Black Shadow Tantra with Mission Mastery. Now, just to remind everyone, this is a two-pronged course. Light up your density demons in your energy field, blast them, go quantum, supersonic that shit, break the light barrier. And then to help others light up their density demons. That's the mission mastery. That's the training we're doing today. Now, our mission today, we have three simple and powerful things for our master's course. We're going to go over the 5 energetic defense structures. And like I said, I want this to be easy and streamlined for everyone. Sometimes 2 words, powerful words, are better than 2,000. Big picture metaphor over detail. And you're going to realize, because you know yang medicine and you know how to power up, that you are going to be one of the most elite bioenergetic healers on the planet, top 99%. And you're going to know this stuff. So I want to show you, and you're going to just realize it and recognize it. I already hear everyone on the calls, the Q&A calls, saying, oh yeah, my creative schizoid comes out in this way and real healing gifts and this. Oh, my oral, we use these as energetic archetypes to work with, to burn up energy, to power up, melt and move. So we're going to go over those, a quick review, show you that you've pretty much mastered these things. And now we can move on to things like White Black Tantra in your high ticket courses coming up in the next course of Mission Mastery. So we're going to do bioenergetics. We're going to do White and Black Shadow Tantra. This is going to be double diamond stuff. This is going to be really fun, like how to work with black energy in a very artistic, high vibe, light warrior way, like no one else is doing. And like many of you have called me up with things in your gut, with rashes that will never go away and stop itching, with thought patterns that create paranoia, anxiety, depression, with addictions and things in your gut, your chest, guilt, shame, glandular demons, just crunching it up. We're gonna talk about how to burn it all up, how to create a real integration, an illumination, an activation, an awakening, and a reunification with the shadow in a really fun way, artistic, like not so freaking spiritual. And we're gonna go over like the most powerful past life healing modality I've ever come across. We're gonna use it in 2 forms. We have super stripped this out and simplified it to get you the most power, the biggest buck without all the grief. It's going to be, once again, based on the chelation. You probably even guessed it's going to go to the shoulders. Then we're going to do a past life healing and go back to the shoulders. Pretty easy. So simplified and comprehensive, 5 bioenergetic structures. We're going to learn some shadow work stuff, and we're going to do the past life hands-on healing modality, and also how to do it, more importantly, on yourself. All right, so healing the 5 bioenergetic structures. Hopefully, when you look down here, you see some things jumping out at you. Schizoid creator, oral lover, masochist finisher, psychopath defender, rigid organizer. Oops, I think I'm missing the last name on the bottom. You know these now. So here are simplified methods. When you have a spacey, ungrounded, tall, Abraham Lincoln, lanky, pale, hasn't left the house in days, asocial schizoid, or a creative artist that just wants to take it to the next level, Michelangelo that's like a Pisces genius powered up. And that's what happens with the yang medicine. They turn from mediocre, 85% or below, major core stress problems, toxic mood syndromes, all that, to a 95% like Renaissance god, like, oh, creative master, rock stars. Rock stars are like some of the best schizoid. And the way we do it is we power up and we ground them. We fill up with yang and we power down through all that and can move all that energy and finally ground the schizoid. But really all you do is you power up the whole energy field, move things out. So we do for all of them. The oral lover, we know that's like the addiction one, the one that likes codependency. It can talk, energy vampire. They're also the best hosts. They're very generous. They're very touching and nourishing and sensual, pleasurable. They're connoisseurs, or they could be addicts. So they power up to nourish themselves, to become sovereign through nourishing, to not need other people, not need to like drain. Then we have the masochist finisher. That's kind of in its name. We know how they carry shame, that they get in this cycle of overworking and not celebrating and being hard on themselves. And there's all this guilt, but they are the ones that finish things, get projects done. They really do get things from A to C, A to B to Z. And man, I've come to really appreciate that in my projects, because touchdown requires going all the way. So we power up to, quite simply empower them. Probably you're going to need to open up that chest cavity and create a lot of power, give them their sex power. But once again, we're filling them up with yang medicine. Masochist finisher, psychopath defender, we power them up, and then we really break open that rigidity, the stuffed, overwhelmed, cage up top, and we fluffify their heart and connect them with the sensuality of life, the flow, the infinite yin, the goddess, the the relaxation, tenderness. And then we have the rigid and the organizer, which is kind of the same. You power up, you break open, fluff open the heart, and you alchemize them with star energy, bring in pleasure. So all that rigidity starts to relax and flow, and their energy can really grow. Most of all, what you do is you do star alchemy, read the schematics, power up, and grow an energy field 2, 3, 4, 5 times. That's the healing for the schizoid. That's the healing for the oral. That's the healing for the masochist. That's the healing for the psychopath. That's the healing for the rigid. And no one in healing school ever told me that. Okay. So that was our bioenergetics revisited. And for all of those, they're just archetypes you can use. You can use them in your business. How many bosses are psychopath? And that might be helpful. Oh, you have a client that's very creative schizoid, so they can ghost, but you know how to make them feel safe and comfortable. Like, bioenergetics has helped me a lot. I've been a community builder, a movement builder, and using that to build brands, directly connecting movements with entrepreneurs, with brands, leading edge conscious products. And bioenergetics has helped me cast everybody, put them in the right place, help them, and be a real team leader and a team supporter. Have everyone's back, and you got this yang medicine for those that want to show up and do your program and get the real results. So that's bioenergetics revisited. Celebrate, give yourself a big old energy high five, because you now know bioenergetics more than anyone else. I invite you to revisit those, play them while you're doing the dishes, get to know it better. This training is here for the rest of your life. When you finish the 3 months, hey, I would go do it again. Hit chapter 1, and you're going to get these on a much deeper level. You'll be like, holy cow, that was what Johnny was talking about divine universes and eternal realities, in week 1. So, but the bioenergetics now, we're closing up this section to some degree. We will kind of look at it when we talk about high ticket courses, but now it's looking at how to develop your light leader, light mission career. From here on out, it's going to be things like how to create your high ticket course. What kind of clients do you want? What clients do you want to say no to? How do you price it? How do you get your Facebook, how do you bring people in? And even how do you do a sale, an enlisting call? I don't do sales calls. Victory, core power, energy sovereignty. That is what everyone in bioenergetics is looking for. That's the medicine we give. And I call it the core mirror effect. Where your core energy's at, that's where your life's going to be. So if you look around, it's a mess, we know you need to pick the core energy up. And at the end of 90 days, all of the bioenergetics are going to see extreme results if they're doing the master work. All right, so let's take a moment, pause. As we move into one of my favorite studies, this is where so much of the work is at, where the real exciting, powerful, deep, quick, steep, dramatic work goes. And I have a very different view of the shadow than anyone else on the planet. I think the shadow's ultra cool, wicked fun, and it's your enlightenment density bomb to blast to enlightenment super quick. It's a trick. It's like a technique. It's like one of the most powerful healing skiing moves you could ever do on the planet. And that's what I would say a huge majority of this course is about how to ski your really deep, dark, dense, trenched, stuck, won't move, frozen to death, toxic to death stuff, and have a lot of fun doing it, seeing it in the divine realm, and not just giving it a bunch of lip service and talking about it. And you don't get any results. Therapy 10 years later, cranial sacral, all that's, yeah, right. Practical Shamanism 101 for shadow work. This has helped me. I love 3D out reality. The more I've gone into other realms, other worlds, met demons, gods, angels, multi dimensions in me, and this, and come back again, the more I love just like going to the mall and getting an organic smoothie. you know, Watching a really cool movie when it comes out. 3D reality is fucking cool, and there's a reason for it. So as long we'll bring in the shadow, we'll bring in it all. I want you to get super angry, super pissed, super like wherever your monster is, super passionate, wild. It's that shut down wild energy that I think William Blake used to talk about, puritanical culture, and that then poisons and we think it's demons. But it gets you into a lot of trouble too. People think just because I'm long hair in this that I'm going to do Charles Manson things. I have a beard. No fucking way, dude. No way. Not me. I do calculated risk. I'm a responsible wild man. I always think about 3D out reality, and it'll get me in trouble because I don't like dealing with that. I'm not one of the guys that doesn't pay my registration on my car. I like things to be easy, and that's why I like money too, is because you can pay things off and things are kind of easy. So, but then there's also practical shamanism 101. Like, I bring in the biggest demon ever in my gut, in my back of my heart, and it'll be having an anger fit in the back of my heart as I'm giving it energy squeeze of like light warrior quantum love, like just squeezing the trigger of that at the bank. But here's the thing is, it builds passion, it builds joy, it opens my heart, it turns into golden energy because we've been building gold. That energy just transmutes, and I don't take it out on anybody. If I'm going to start yelling at the clerk and shit, that doesn't help my life. So we're going to learn to create spaces where you let that shit in big time. And the main space to do that is out in the sun. Give your whole shadow to the sun, meet it, greet it, make love to it. Make love to that density in the sun. That'll do the answers. If you let all your nastiness out in the sun, all your bad attitude, and start loving that bad attitude, it's my bad attitude that said, I need to stop doing this spiritual cruelty, this clinical cruelty. I need to stop being inside, listening to everyone else doing this calculus. And you see that yummy freaking star out there? I'm an energy guy. No one in the history of the world, I think, has gone over there and said, I'm going to meet you all the way. I'm going to see what 99% of the solar system's energy mass has to offer and teach me. And so far, it's turned me from a 3% energy field to 93 and running. And, that's kind of a multi-quantum thing. So, just be careful. Like, you can let it all in, you blast it out. The sun's there for that reason. You can get as angry as you want all the time. Do it the whole week. Do it the rest of the course if you need to in the sun. That's what this is for. Have anger cries, punch the ground, yell at your mom, throw fits of anger and curses into the stars. It can handle all that shit. Let it transmute. But, don't go out punching fences or like fences. Don't go out punching people and shit. I'm a very good guy at making calculated risk, as we'll see. But so that's the practical shamanism 101, yang wisdom. Use just heart open, good old fashioned, chivalrous energy nobility 3D wisdom here. Okay, don't do it unless, and I call it the Go Gandhi clause. Sometimes you just got to break the rules, man. I've done it all the time. On Light Mission, and like I was activist, and I was like, oh, it's a code orange in New York City, and you have a thing scheduled, you go do that thing. Gandhi did it, took on the whole British military. But you got to know when these battles are, when they're right. Sometimes for me, it's just like, that tasty run over there, it's a little steep, but we can totally do it. We can totally do it if we take it careful. It's right at my A+ level, but I can fucking do it. And I could take anyone on a black, double to black diamond. I could take any beginner if they learned a few moves, but slowly. Calculated risk. Now going out of bounds into powder country and avalanche time, I wouldn't do that. Well, Depends. No, I wouldn't know. I've got Claudia, I've got a girl, I got a thing, There's certain people I won't play with because I know they have like wives and stuff, and if we go skiing and hit our edge, they'll go that extra distance. We go drag racing and they'll go that extra distance. It's just a little too dangerous. So, you're welcome to engage in this with calculated risk, is probably what I'm saying. Now, this is the one exercise I suggest everyone do when you're teaching shadow work. It's the introduction to shadow work. And I feel like if we just did this one thing, you would get the whole lesson today. Like if you just really sink this in for a minute or two, and when you pause the recording, you can do it for a few, but you're going to see something, you're going to feel something, and you're going to get what this whole work is about. Now, and this is always how I introduce shadow work. And what is the shadow? That's a study. Welcome. Good. That's your study. We're going to go into a study, I think a very Da Vinci-like energy master look into this, looking at a master's approach without overcomplicating things so you can go home and get results. But this is a lifelong study, and even naming something a shadow is kind of ridiculous. So that's to be contended with as well. But it's also fun. So to begin the shadow work, to really go there, I want you to think about the worst person in the world, in your life, not to someone else. Don't go in your mind, go in your gut, go in your heart, go in your energy, go in your core, go into that nervous tremble, that punching fist, that abusive fury, that I hate you forever. It could be God, it could be a parent, it could be Hitler, it could be the current president. I had that for a while. It could be a sibling, it could be a perpetrator. Go there. I want you to think about that person and write the list. I want you to write the list of 50 things that person, like adjectives of that person. 50 things you cannot stand about that person. Why they are the worst person, the most disgusting. Describe their disgusting energy. Describe their horrible habits. Say why they're a motherfucker. Say why they don't belong on this planet. How do they feel? What's wrong with their face? Why you want to punch them? They're the most disgusting thing that ever existed. Oh, that person. Oh, that thing. Nothing righteous about them. Nothing worthy. Go there and just write. Feel in your heart. Feel into your memory. Go into those experiences. I fucking hate you because of this. Say why. Mostly write adjectives. What is this person? This person is this. You are this. You are nasty. You are mean. You don't care about people. You're the most pointless, stupid, violent, dramatic person I've ever met in my life. Whatever you got to put down, put it down. Lay it down. Throw it down. Get angry. Get superhero fucking angry. Get devilishly angry. Go there. Go core angry. And you just do that. You do that for a few minutes. You write and you write what I fucking hate about this person. You just do that again and again and again. What I fucking hate about this person. And since you're powering up on light all day, since you're juicing up on joy, since the Jesus juice, the Mara juice, and you're just getting shiny and golden, the more golden light you get, the more shadow you can hold and just love and have fun with it. No biggie. It's just a color that's fun. Frequency already transmuting. So it's okay to go into there, as long as you don't mess up your practical reality. We got to give spaces to go wild and dark. It's part of who we are. It's multidimensional. Some of the coolest people, some of the best artists I know, the most intriguing folks have some dark. From Banksy, the graffiti artist, Trent Reznor, man, I can't listen to a full album of Downward Spiral, but give me a few songs here and there. Give me some Rage Against the Machine. Good medicine for spiritual anemia. And then some people can go overboard, which we'll get into, but write down the worst person in the world. Why you can't stand them? What adjective, adjective, adjective? This person's stupid, boring, lame, ugly, fat, short, tall. Yeah, every worst thing about him. And you go and go. And what I suggest is you pause and you just go furious. Pause and just go angry. Pause and go freaking nuclear on that black shit. And then when you're done, click back and we'll go to round two. So once you've done that process work, you get it all down on paper. You kind of read it over. I want you to look at those words, soak them in. Oh my gosh, this, I really feel this. I feel this way about that person. This is how I feel. This person, I feel this way. This person, oh, this feels. Just go through every nasty thing, every horrible thing, every terrible thing, every boring thing, disgusting thing, da, da, da. And you look and you read over it. You go over the whole thing. You probably remember it because you were throwing down vile. And then you just say to yourself after you've gone through the whole list, you read it back. And you just say, you see that? You see that ugly stuff? That nasty stuff? You are that. That's your shadow. That paper, that's your shadow. That being, that's your shadow. It's the multidimensional God. That's the one that's really getting your goat. Maybe even getting in your energy field. And so when you learn that shadow and you see that and you see the oneness, you can kind of laugh. You can connect. You can have a good cry and say, shit, the person I wrote down like 10 years ago, I love this person. They're like my best friend. They're so fun. And everything I wrote that was a shadow, I freaking love about them now. They're passionate. They're driven. They're unstoppable. Nothing's going to shut this perfect person out. Da, 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 da. You know? And that's the magic of this work is what you're able with light, with magic, with the golden boy, the golden girl, the young medicine, is you meet the black halfway and you greet that Tantra. You greet the shadow and you say, I love you, dude. But you look at that and you got to own it and say, man, I am all those things and even worse, even worse. And then you kind of get the medicine. Who's going to throw a stone? I don't. People are always asking me about like, well, how do you deal with this? How do you get rid of it? I'm like, I have that all the time. I have it all the time. I work with it and I don't worry about it. I work with it and I don't worry about it. you know? So how to deal with your shadow, the shadow mirroring, this is a great exercise for teaching, the shadow mirror power training. It's great for classes. It's great for clients. It's really great for people with dealing with awful things. They're unresolved. They just got gut, all these things, emotional issues. They go into that one person that represents it all. And when they move that energy, there's a clearing with that specific thing and a lot of archetypal things around it. So it's a huge healing. And then over time, they're like, oh yeah, and you can do that for bosses. It's an ongoing thing you could do as you're having trouble throughout your professional light warrior, light mission day. Go into the adjectives, let it rip, no holds barred, encourage them to go there. Go medieval on that paper if we're going to get all Terrence McKenna about it. No, Reservoir Dogs director about it. Yeah, everyone's. Pulp Fiction guy on it. All right, do the big reveal. Have a big, good realization and have a good laugh. So, they write down all these adjectives about that one person, the worst ever. They write, they go, they release, they write, they release. Usually they get into a state of like they're 7 years old or into that time period where that person really was hurting them. I suggest doing that with them. And you encourage and go team, let's go in the shadow, here we go. I usually say with the course these days, I only need to go 1/4, 1/5 into the shadow, but I go deep and jagged like a crevice and then unify. And then at the end of that paper, you just invite them to read it again and do the big reveal, have a good laugh afterwards. Usually, especially if they're new to this work and they're new to yang, they're going to have to process first. Don't go to a good laugh until a little later. Let them process, listen, be curious, ask more questions. This is the process work. Listen, oh, well, how did that person hurt you? Was there a time? Well, did it this, and you just go deeper and deeper into in really getting to how they feel. And eventually they'll kind of release it. And you can even ask them from the perspective, bring in that perspective of that other person and ask them how they felt about them. It's almost like our dream work. You bring in the other. But then you have a good laugh after this. And that's the shadow mirror exercise. It's wonderful. It's a really great, effective thing to get this out, like get the message of what a shadow is. Mastery mirror work. So your homework is definitely to do that this week. I want you to do that at least around one person, that thing. It could be it doesn't just have to be a person. It could be something that you really need help with, like a job issue or that. Bioenergetics works that way. You can work with like, is this position right with me? Is California the right place to live? In the same bioenergetic way you work with, oh, it's this place or this person, a monster, demon, my A plus, my 0% kind of thing. All right. Healing should feel better than skiing. This is our shadow work. I'm literally talking about the shadow and saying we need to ski this shit. Black double diamonds, star skiing. Well, I had this experience where I hadn't skied in 20 years, and yet skiing was the highest vibrational thing I knew I'd done in my life. Skiing at Vail and the Back Bowls in Loveland, Colorado, too. Now, Colorado has very steep mountains. Even California, you go through Mammoth, and you're like, that's pretty good. But then you go up to Colorado, and you're like, whoa, Rockies. This is like Canadian shit, but with better sun. And I was at Loveland. It had been 20 years since I skied, but I had a lot of experience on it. I grew up skiing, Colorado kid. And all I wanted to do was get up there because I knew the freedom. I knew the energy. It felt like energy healing, ecstatic tantra, like skiing or sex, hard for me to choose. Hard for me to, maybe skiing because I don't get to do it as much. But it's like healing is meant to feel like this. The scar schematic all along. That's why we're going tantric. It's meant to feel like the best journey of all time. I actually prefer now doing the star schematic over skiing. That's how tantric, that's how delicious, that's how powerful and amazing it's getting. And it's turning my body like a golden god, growing my energy. Like since I skied at Loveland, I think my energy fields increased 4 or 5 times. And skiing that day, it was amazing. 20 years, get on the mountain, and I pick it up quick. And I'm going and I'm cruising and I'm hitting it, and I'm hitting it for about a half a day until I hit this one spot. And the snow that day was extremely dangerous. Packed, like crisp, end of the season. The sun, it had been melted and burnt and melted and burnt into ice, basically, and slush, and you didn't know what you'd get. In one run, I hit like what would be powder ice slush, and it's like the worst thing ever to ski in. And it hit me hard, and I hit hard. And after that, I realized I made the mistake when I was trying to do perfect technique only. And I was hailing it, but it was too high for me. And then I got lower, and I got into perfect technique with my style. I'm a very low guy, like the skier, or what are they called? Skaters in Venice. Those guys, the dog boys, they go very low, and they reinvented surfing that way. Well, I almost have like a low gravity dog boy thing. I get super low in my knees, and I can do anything: moguls, jumps, cornices. And I started doing that with perfect technique. My style, perfect technique, and I nailed it. The rest of the day, no more mistakes, no more wrecking. A little cautious on that powder. I learned my mistake. By the end of the day, I felt confident to go on Avalanche Bowl. After 20 years, one day skiing. Avalanche Bowl was the double diamond of Loveland, and only the best of the skiers could do it. Only. The kids couldn't do it. The adults couldn't do it. The Texans couldn't do it. These were the local kids that practiced and like professional Olympians that come to Colorado to do this shit, right? And so I was like, I can do a bowl. And I used to be able to do it as a kid. But with one day having used mastery mindset over the way I used to do it as a kid, I knew I could do a bowl better than I ever did as a kid, even with the worst snow, even though it had been 20 years. And this was with having used yang medicine as my model to build strength and deal with a shadow thing. Avalanche Bowl is scary. It's absolutely terrifying. It is your worst devil. It is your worst demon. People get scared. They tremble. They go over there and they come back and they don't do that mountain. It's that scary. It's that steep. But if you do it, And if you make it down, and you can do it slow, you can do it fast, you can do it this way, that, you have a great story at the end. And what I noticed is when I was on that mountain, I was in extreme double diamond, like black shadow states of practice. It was right at my extreme edge. And it was one of the most, the sun was out, the snow was sparkling. It was the very end of the day. It was last run. And I was in like total orgasmic divine experience, like enlightenment on skis. My whole energy was gold zapping gold. I could feel the whole mountain, the sky, the universe going through me. And my demons, my fear, my tremble, the blackness was writing it and making it happen. It was actually helping me and being my ally. So that's our double diamond demons, black shadow work. We're going to work on this like a black diamond with all of you. Now, some of you are coming on the course and you prefer a nice green, a nice smoothie. You can do that this way too. The blue, you might be doing base camp the whole way, but some of you come to just gut bomb that rash, gut bomb that mind, core bomb it all. And we can do that. And just like Avalanche Bowl, we can do it this way. First of all, I want to say these demons, they reveal your strength. They show you what you can really break through and accomplish. Wow, I can be that much of a skiing master. I can be that much of a star light master, that much of a confidence certainty master. And it's all because I squashed and lit up and density blast my demons into my core light. Wow, I'm that awesome and amazing. They show you that. And if you don't light up and do this, they weigh you down, they ruin your life, they create misery. Misery loves company and they stay there, wrecking on the hill. Now here you have the skills. Here we teach you the basic comprehensive techniques to master your way through any kind of deep work, deep core stuff. Will you have a little bit of chills and thrills? Yes. But you have everything you need to totally blast up and light up. Now, warning is you can really take this at your pace. I skied a bowl, Avalanche Bowl, as a kid at like 11, but I did it very slowly, looping around those beautiful moguls. I enjoyed that course and had so much fear and ecstasy more than the really fast guys, zipping down, zipping down. Later, I got better and I could move through and jump. I could even go bounce, bounce, bounce. Last time I went, I just went gloriously, smoothly, gracefully. I didn't even like try to go fast. You can take this at your pace and your technique and development as you like. And some guys like one of my best skier friends, Ron, he was like the ace, the red baron ace of fighter flighting ski school. He was just unstoppable. And we would watch him. Everyone knew him on the mountain. He was a legend. Basin, our Avalanche Bowl, you can see it from the ski lift. And so there we would be watching him being like, there's Ron, oh my God, cheering him on, as you do your ski buddies, Ron. And he would fly. He would just fly. He was one of those guys who could jump over like 6 moguls at once and land on the other, and he picked lines. Six moguls to go down half the mountain kind of lines, jumping, flying down that mountain, barely touching the snow. But the risk there is pretty great. The risk there is really great. And while Ron is a legend, he no longer is with us. And so we'll be talking a lot about that with St. Michael Black medicine work. Because, some of you go a little overboard. Some of you need to get a little bit more courage. And that balance really helps. Ron will always be a legend, but man, I'd still love to give Ron a call today. And we all kind of knew it. Maybe Ron's risking it. He's a little bit like that's the surfer guy, All the surfers seem to have it even more traumatic. The great thing about star skiing is, you never really get injured. You squash a demon and it turns into more light. You cut angel laser surgery, something that grows right back. There's really no woundings that can be happened. You can't break your leg. Mostly you're probably going to relax, heal, and power up and find yourself. Now, one thing I want to end with this is the greatest thing about skiing A Basin, Avalanche Bowl, and this is why I like to do it with a course and a team. People come with this guru thing. Gurus, I've had all these problems with gurus and this and enlightenment. I'm like, yeah, fuck that. Me too. I hate that shit. Let's be a team that's going on the ski lift. You know, we're going on the heli skiing lift up Mount Mastery. We're going up to Everest and we're skiing down this motherfucker, right? As a team. And the fun thing about skiing avalanche bowl is when we did that as kids, when I did it this year, I got to go down and in the ski lodge, share it with my friends. You know, I got to like share those stories. It's just the funnest thing ever. Light blasting demonia, skiing avalanche bowl is just the most amazing fun. It gives you the best stories and it really builds your courage and capacity. So it's really worth the effort or the journey of doing it. You know, just a reminder, we are doing the responsible wild man and woman. Use the fuel and passion to propel your dreams, not fall off the cliff. You know, I don't do curvy car moves around like anything anymore, like around curves when cars are coming. No freaking way. That's not a risk, you know. Now, the big lesson today, and this is probably more than past life healing everything, I want to talk about how to turn on your density demons. So let's focus on this. This is like the most important lesson, maybe even of the course. You guys have come on, like, I want Mount Mastery. I want to go quick. We got to hit this quick, fast, sharp, like intense energy. Even if it's loading down in ultimate heaviness, we're probably going to get into something like this. Your double diamond density demons. They can be anything from autoimmune stuff. I don't even care about the labels. Autoimmune, mental, stuck things, like gut things are huge. Cancerous things, mole things, like we're going to go after it all. Density demons, cool. Feel, find, listen, see. We're on the hunt. I chose not the face of a rattlesnake, which would have looked way cooler, but this rattle. Because there's something about this rattle. I can feel it. Like it tells me this thing's full of poison. This thing's venomous. This thing's dangerous. It's Kundalini gone wild. It's rogue. It's fast. It's quick. It's gonna hit you like that. Yes, he bites, but there's something about that thing. And there's something about these quote unquote demons, these intense energies. I can feel it like that. It's sharp. It's quick. It's nasty, mean. And what I do is I hunt. I go and I feel it. You gotta find it. You gotta listen to it. See it. What does it look like? Is it squeezy and nasty and like just glowing and angry? A lot of them are really angry. Is it just ready to blow, ready to punch, ready to cry, ready to throw? Is it insane? Is it screaming? Is it crying? You know, they have these feelings. Is it like causing caustic things? Is it cancerous? Is it these things? And I like to hear them. I think they say things. I can, like sometimes I'll say, I hear that thing a mile away. Know where they are, know what they are. Get to know these things and start clicking them in when you see them come up. It's going to be like a little bit of a video game almost. Hunt them all, whack them all, you know? But the great thing is, unlike the whack-a-mole, they go away, the other ones come up, but all that energy transcended into good stuff. And more stuff's coming up because you're ready for it. You're ready for that integration of intense, like unraveled energies, knots, energy knots, huge. And you go in, you blast it, and it all turns into light. Light blasting density grenades. That would be like, really, I would call it density demon if you light it and you're using yang medicine. You see it and tell you, oh, there's another density grenade. There's another power up. There's another ally. There's another like fang medicine, venom medicine. You know how to use it. You know how to use the wild side for your advantage with light medicine. So we'll talk about how to do it. It's simple. You guys are already doing it. You do your total system power up with the yang medicine. Schematic 1, 2, 3. You've been doing that. You've been doing all this melt and move stuff, but you that's the first thing is preventative. And if that's all you did is total system power up, rocket fuel it all into light, you would answer all your problems. But here's some specifics, because a lot of energy people, we like to go in, we like to be surgeons, we like to hit that moment, be aggressive even, you know? So you can hunt it, you find it, like I was saying, you spot that thing, you get it. You even say, I kind of see you. I see them run. They're scared. They don't at first don't want to transform, but they do. You observe, you listen, you watch, you kind of, you prepare, and then you connect and you go in. Go in and get it. That's what I'd like to say. You go in and get it. Go in and get it. You go in and get it. You actually go in and get it. You love the fuck out of it and hit it with tons of light and pleasure. Just light and pleasure, light and pleasure. I love you. I love you. Tons of fucking love and energy. Nothing's going to stop you from love. Not even the biggest of the demons, the Satans of the Satans, the Lucifers or the Jasons, or the mommy dearests, or the IRS-ists, the communists, the whatever it is. Light and pleasure, anxiety, gut anger, unstoppable, everlasting loneliness, autoimmune issue. You go in there, you love the fuck out of it. Cancerous stuff, great healing for that. Past life stuff, great for that. You grab, you squeeze, you light it up. You like grab it and you squeeze it, and you make it an ally, and you burn it up, and you blow it up like a density grenade. So you see this dark stuff, and as you light up, you could just go in and you kind of surround it, you power it, you squeeze it, it'll release. Might be a burp, might even be flatulence, or you just see light turn into like champagne, and you do it over and over and over again. So you power up huge. You find that stuff, you observe, you learn, you see how to do it, you connect, you go on a hunt. Like you've come with me to connect and light hunt. Great. Remember, you're the best light hunter will ever have. I cannot be you. You have genius talents I don't have. So power up, get full boob, learn how to hunt in your style using the techniques we have too. Literally love the fuck out of it, light it up with pleasure, grab, squeeze, and give it that release it's been waiting for. You can hone a bone it on the way out. I'd say make love to it. Like if you can turn it into an orgasm and bone it through, that's probably going to work really well. The really deep stuff, it's almost like it's labor. This whole thing is like light pleasure labor. Density into that, and then it'll all flow. And black light turns quite beautiful. White light's beautiful. And that's how we work with density demons, from the worst addictions to everything else. This medicine of yang does it all. Just like, I love them. I love them so much because, yeah, they make your life miserable until you find them. But once you get them, you're like, oh man, that guy's cute. He's wily. Whoa. I get a lot of he's, but there's some she's and some what's it, and some goblins and then this. But these guys are supersonic weapons. And they're supersonic weapons of passion, truth, and love. Let me explain. They're a symptom of you not being at full-on energy power. And so some part of you is like clunked up, caught onto this thing, and that passion in you is just waiting to be driven, waiting for joy, waiting for enlightenment, waiting for light mission, waiting for 95% core energetics. They blast up, they density you right back into quick. They have no excuses. They don't give a fuck. They just go. They're badasses. They provide truth and authenticity. When you're full of shit and you're being like a mask of masochism, they'll be like, yeah, right. I know, like, my inner stuff would be always say, like, I don't want to do this ayahuasca ceremony. Like, and I thought, oh, you don't want the healing in that. Probably true. But I also realized, wait, me neither. My shadow says the funniest shit. If you start listening to your shadow and really giving it space to come through in the light and the sun and the star schematic, it says the funniest shit. You will start loving your shadow. You will start asking your shadow to say shit. You're having a hard time dealing with that person, bringing the demon out, but with an open heart. And that's it. They're full of love, man. When you fill them with light, you'll see they're full of passion, truth, and love. That's just what they are. And that's kind of the fireworks of illuminating that stuff, going in and blasting density into those things. Now, some people that work with me, they're always talking about the Morrison effect. Jim Morrison seems to come up a lot. Yeah, with your shadow, don't do that. Don't go and die at 27 like all those dudes or girls, Let's give some love to Break My Heart too, Janice, But we don't need to do Janice and Jim anymore. These are quantum love age. This is a light warrior age. You can do all that crazy dark art if you like, but fill it with light. And, just remember our rule about just don't do stuff that gets you in trouble in 3D reality. You can do as much like light shadow stuff as you want, but grow your garden, do your yoga, get your yang medicine in, and be joyful. That's so don't, and then you don't have to shut down your power, because that's what the Morrison effect is. People shut down their power because they're afraid to be big and bold. With light, you're totally allowed to do that. This was a little download I had, geez, preparing for this class, and it was just like, well, tell these guys this, dance with the fucker. I think that's the thing, the density. Be the badass. Get fucking angry. Turn on passion. Kick in the light and meet the Godhead. So maybe Review this when you check out the recording, pause it. It could be a fun thing to take into the sun. Dance with the fucker into your life. Be the badass. Really be the badass in your professional career. Necessary to have. Get fucking angry. Let in the power. Let it transform. Turn on passion. Get in the fuel. Get in its fuel of the rattle of that snake. Kick in the light warrior in, and meet the Godhead in yourself with that white-black tantric alchemy. That's how we do it. Maybe the most important lesson of this entire course, how to make love with, how to dance, how to fire up and unify with your quote unquote shadow, dark side, black energy, whatever, stuck, and meet the Godhead. Pretty cool, right? Another thing you could do just quick is hate therapy. You know, you need to get some stuff out. It's been too long. You've been bottled up. I like to let my inner 7-year-old come through. Often your little kid is, your demon's your little kid shut down for way too long, intoxified. He or she's so frustrated, angry. So hate therapy can really good. You juice up in light, you feel good, but you got to get this stuff out and you just roll. You go crazy. You write things like, I hate the universe. I hate everybody. I hate this. I hate that. And have love for it as it comes through. I hate this. I hate it. Channel hate for a little bit. I hate love. I love hate. Let it out. Write the list. And you can burn it up. You can let it go. But you can get it out of your energy system and go in there, read it. And I'd say go in the sun and really read it in the sun. Let the density go. Doses of medicinal dark energy. This might sound like a hard thing to explain, but I don't think it is. You guys are getting it, you know? When you power up with all this juice in the universe, maybe it's white-black energy. Maybe it's, yin-yang in that exact sense. I've seen visions of that, but I've also seen many other visions. But I do know people get way spiritually anemic, way puritanical. They can't put any fun black energy in, any darkness. So they're always trying to be good, trying to be right, following the rules, empty. So a little dark energy, a little fun, a little black, healthy energy, colorful energy can go a long way. It can heal severe energy anemia, lack of power, respect, confidence, sexiness. People who don't have a spine, that's the main thing I'd say here. You're not having success. You got to get in there and go. Feel it. Get a little dark. It gives you a natural edge, movement, momentum, buzz, ahead of the curve, leading edge. And it gives you true power, white and black crystals. There's movement, there's balance. There's not just goody two-shoe. There's a Dionysian, there's a merriment. There's a letting go. There's saying, fuck all that shit and more. And what I love, it's for creative projects. A black dose of black medicine for the black arts. Meaning, I love people who are powered on, turned on, and into their passions. Light workers that love black. Tim Burton, man, I love those movies. He did great Batmans. You know, how many great albums from Trent Reznor's to Rage Against the Machine, all these artists that wear black, Susie and the Banshees, all of these things. So you're welcome to, quote unquote, practice the Renaissance arts. You know, I'm not saying that stuff, throw curses and that stuff, that's boring. That's in our list of 3D things that get you in trouble. But doing stuff with your artistic side, letting it roll, letting it rip, letting your genius out, man, that's some of my favorite stuff. So, as you guys are building, I encourage you to let in your artists more in letting in kind of a creative expression around this thing. And just a reminder, don't do it if it gets you in 3D trouble, unless you go Tiananmen like this guy. It's a calculated risk. It's the time. It's right. It's a yes, and more yes. Now, I want to go over very simple healing past lives. I really wanted to focus today in how do you really get that of turning on your demons. You light up, you power up, you go in there, you squeeze, you release. It's supersonic. They are fuel ready to blow. They're like quantum video grenades. We're going to simplify, we're going to go through it, and you already know how to do it. That's the great thing about it. But we're going to go through the healing past lives modality. So step 1 through 99 is practice on yourself first. Step 1 through 99 is practice on yourself first, meaning you're already have done the two-handed heart healing, the infinite yin healing. So remember, if you put your 2 hands on your heart, I like this before bed. Now, in the moonlight works fantastic. The moonlight can actually do a lot of shadow healing if you want to try that. Double diamond shadow healing, moon schematics. You could go in the sun and do the breath work there and do the two-handed with the schematic two, I'd say, infinite yin. Ooh, you can go through past life after past life after past life. I was so delighted. It was such a monumental moment in my career and in personal journey, most and foremost, when I could put two hands on my heart and do the infinite schematic two breath work in and out. And I would circle or I'd go deep and I just find and listen and go deep, deep, deep with that breath work. All these lifetimes would come up, past life stuff, archetypal stuff. It seemed like parallel lifetimes would come up. And you know what? You just hold, and it goes, goes, goes. You light it up more and more and more, and it goes, goes, goes. I would go through dozens of these. I would see ancient shamans, huge ass dudes come in and go like, dude, why aren't you cool as you used to be? I'd be like, hey, I'm still cool. He'd be like, you're right. And that would transform. I would see, Celtic druids. I'd see wonderful stuff, horrific stuff, potato farmer stuff. You see it all. It comes through. And you can heal the junk of the junk this way. So powering up and doing this one move before bed again and again is going to teach you how to do this the best. Whether you believe in parallel lives, past lives, archetypal energies, all of this, it helps. Okay. So that's how to get really good at it. In fact, for all the hands-on with clients, the way to get really good is practice on yourself. Now, we're going to go into the client hands-on healing, purpose and when to use. You use this when they're having, a lot of people get obsessed with past lives. This happened to me, or there was this one tortured life. A lot of schizoid creatives are going to do that. Oh my gosh, the lifetimes as witches. Oh, and the lifetimes as the shamans that got burned. Oh, I starved to death in this one. Oh, I got killed a million times. Military people might be, oh, I fought in this war and this. There's this chunk in my gut. You will see like shamanic stuff stuck in there and like old like this or that. There you see stories come up. And when they have these, when those are presenting complaints, or they just feel like there's something there in the past beyond, but they can't do it, they can't move ahead. You go there. When they have ancestral stuff that's so deep, this is great. Even mom and dad ancestral stuff, you can go there that way. If you want to go back, this is great. If you want to go into roots, ancestors, I have a lot of people where their clients where that mom, dad, or that mom and dad, but like grandma, grandpa were in the Holocaust, died in the Holocaust, Nazis in the Holocaust, fled. All of this stuff can be healed with this modality. And once again, it's streamlined, it's simple. We have set this up so you have the main operating platform, which is your chelation, right? It's the chelation, and then we just trick it out from there. So what you do is you find the accompanying pain point in the body with the past life issue. There may be several. They may have one and you discover 5, but maybe hit the big one, the one you've talked about. Oh, my heart's just like it's shut. It feels like it's been shut down for lifetimes. Oh my God, when am I going to get over this sexual issue in my ovary? That's a huge one. You may actually do a chelation hormone balance on the ovary and then past life and then close from chelation to the shoulders. You can do that. But we find that pain point. We ask them ahead of time generally. You scan the body as you start the chelation and go through it. And like all these other ones, minus what? Brain balance, minus addiction healing. You chelate to the shoulders. So you chelate to the shoulders, just like the hormone balance. And then you do the two-handed healing that you do on yourself on the pain point. You sit there and you just wait. Now, if it's in a sensitive area like the sacral area, the pelvic area, you might want to be a couple inches above. I certainly am. People are sensitive, and I can sometimes get way more juice, a couple inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, wherever feels awesome and safe for the client, than maybe 4 inches in pelvic, and get powerful through the whole energy field up there. No problem. And I'll just do the two-hander. The two-hander. That's what I should call it. The two-hander. Let's call it that. You do the two-hander. You chelate up to the shoulders, and then you go to the presenting point. It's often in the heart with past life. It's often in the second chakra. Sometimes in the solar plex, especially military people that may have lived multiple military lives. I see that stuff. You put your hands over that pain point, you let the wave build, you be very patient, let the stories, let the lifetimes come in, see it, let it flow, do the infinite yin breath, schematic 2, nourish, let the flow crest, build. And after it builds and grows and flows and you see more and more, you'll probably see lifetimes. You know, with the old bioenergetics, I'd only see 1 or 2. Now I see multiples, and it's even hard to say what's what. You know, is it a past life issue? Was that archetypal? Was that parallel? Was that just collective, conscious, family? It's stuff. You nourish, you build, you lighten, you cleanse, and you close. That's it. You just close it, right? You kind of seal it. You can put some gold in it. I like to close with a little gold. I might put the whole energy in gold to heal up a past life. But really, just that two-handed healing right on the spot will do magic. Yang met them up, power them up. You have a million Jedi moves after you built and felt that wave and crest flow. If there's stuck stuff, you can move it. If there's a density, you can squeeze it. But I would say flow, let it build, infinite yin, two-handed healing on that spot. And then after you've closed it up, I'd say do it with gold energy. That's really fun. You just finish with the chelation from the shoulders. And that's a past life healing. Practice on yourself and before bed a lot. That's where you'll get really good at it. That's where the real work is done. And then when you're working with a client, you're doing a friend, you're practicing on a dummy, remember to get the practice in. You find the pain point, you chelate to the shoulders, you do the two-hander healing, you build, you nourish, you feel the flow, you let the stories come in, you see things. Crest, you nourish, you build, you lighten, and then you clean and close. Finish the chelation from the shoulders, and then you process with them. You let them share first. You let them share their stories. You hold stillness, certainty, and compassion and curiosity. And you ask questions. What did you see? How did you feel? What happened? Oh, what was that like? Could you go deeper? Uh-huh. And then after a while, you can share. And that's how we heal past lives. 2 modalities for yourself and on clients. Now, thank you everyone for going on this double diamond journey with me today. Our mission, our promise was to cover the 5 bioenergetic types. You know them all now. Creative, oral, masochist, schizoid, rigid, and plus the positive versions of that. And, you know, they both have their light and shadow and oneness. White and black shadow Tantra, we've gone through the shadow mirror. Do that exercise. Follow shadow stuff that comes up today. See it in a cool way. If you need to create and express, you could write your hate list and then write your love list. Let it out. Let it burst this week. Follow a little bit of shadow. See how it shows up in fun, divine ways, not scary ways. We want to reassociate your journey with the whole thing. But most important with white and black shadow transfer, there's one thing. We now know how to turn on your demons and blow them up. Density bombs. Get in the star schematic. Get after it. Hunt. Listen to that part of it. Learn how to do it and get extreme results. Go light speed with your healing. And you also learn how to do the past life modalities. You know, get in the sun. Do it at home. Two-handed healing on your heart. Infinite yin. And then do it on clients. Practice, practice, practice. Makes the master. Upcoming, we have a Visionary Summit. So we're going to get in schematic 5, this whole turning your core into golden energy. Visionary, we've done a lot of healing. This will actually still melt that stuff like anything else. But this is also where we get into like enlightenment training, connoisseur training, bringing your light warrior out. We do light leader training and mission. We're going to start doing your high ticket courses and nailing that. So a lot of good stuff coming up in the golden age this last month of getting you into your full divine sovereignty to the best of our ability. Thank you all for joining me for this Black Shadow journey. I wish you all a wonderful, tantric, ecstatic, double diamond on the mountain experience this week. Remember, take it at your own pace. And once again, don't do anything that'll get you in trouble in 3 reality, unless it's really worth it. All right, take care, and I'll see you on Mount Mastery.